welcome back to the Movie Pit. It's been a while since I've made a review, I know, so let's just not waste any more time and just get right into it. Today's review is of Bloody Murder 2. Some of you might be asking, why am I reviewing a sequel to a movie that I never reviewed in the first place? That's simple because, as far as I'm concerned, as bad horror movies go, this particular film is vastly better than the first, and I consider it a good bad film, if you will. And mainly because this is just a pretty straightforward slasher film when it all is said and done. Girl Tracy is having nightmares about her brother Jason, who disappeared at Camp Placid Pines and is rumored to have been killed by Trevor Morehouse. She then wakes up from a nightmare and is revealed that she is at the camp itself as a counselor. Then, after a seemingly harmless game of bloody murder, which is a themed version of hide and seek, one by one the counselors start being picked off and the Trevor Morehouse rumors start flying around again. Like I said, pretty simple, straight to the point, especially for a blatant Friday the 13th ripoff, or homage, depends on how you look at it. The reason I enjoy this film is because I think it embodies everything I loved about the 80s slasher films, from like slightly hokey dialogue to completely absurd plot twists at times. With that said, I think the writers on this movie didn't break any new ground with the slasher genre. However, they also didn't take any leaps backwards either, because as far as the writing's concerned, it isn't bad at all. Sure, it won't be everyone's cup of tea, but at least the story is fluent and coherent. It doesn't jump around with useless information to confuse the viewer, so that way on a point where a twist or two comes your way, you find yourself lost at the story. The story is what it is, and they don't try to make it feel like anything it really isn't. With that said, as far as the look of the film goes, this is, in my opinion, 1,000,000 times better than the first film, mainly because it is actually shot better. It's shot like a movie. So it looks and feels like the classic slasher films I grew up watching. There are a lot of exterior scenes, obviously, and it doesn't matter if they are light, day or nighttime, because they both look pretty damn good. The use of shadows and lighting during the night scenes plays a huge part, particularly in this movie as opposed to the first movie, because it just makes it feel like you're watching a horror movie. So many films get this wrong nowadays, and to the point where it doesn't feel like you're watching a horror movie. And this film does it right, especially with the budget that they had. The acting in this film, sure, some people might say that they don't like it. I've heard people say that they thought the acting in this film was either just flat out pushed or just awful acting, and that's fine, because I don't expect my 80s style slasher films to have Oscar-worthy performances, because then the movie itself would come off ridiculous. So in this subgenre of film, I think bad acting actually isn't a bad thing to a point. And for your hardcore horror fans out there, they'll appreciate the fact that in this movie, recent Scream Queen Tiffany Shepis is actually in the movie. And for those of you who are out there looking for her, yes, there is plenty of skin from her in this film to make you happy, like I said, if that's what you're looking for. But you also need to keep in mind with this film that this was made early 2000s, back before she actually became and got the title of Scream Queen. Pretty much to sum this up, I know this is a short review, I think this film is worth a look to horror fans, but chances are if you are a diehard horror fan, you've probably already seen it and the first one. But it is a fun little film that delivers what I want to see, at least, not what everybody else wants to see. And if you're wanting to try to see this movie and you're having troubles finding it, don't worry, Lionsgate is re-releasing the movie, as I said, along with the first one and another film, on October the 4th. To wrap up again, I'm sorry if this was a little short and not as in-depth of a review as I normally get into. But I am back in the swing of things, and I'll be posting more reviews as the weeks to come. Starting hopefully by the end of next week, I'll have reviews of the Full Moon films, the Evil Bong series. So thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned for more.